Welcome to another Get Digital Support webinar. I'm Ben Frisch, and today we're talking about supercharging your marketing with AI-powered tools. Excuse me. Like I said, I've got my coffee, and I'm going to need it this morning. But this is always an exciting topic to get through and cover off because it's always changing, always updating, and there's always new things to talk about. Within reason, I mean, there's when it comes to AI and applying it to our marketing, there's certain things that uh, we can hand off there. We can leverage these tools for different things, and so we're going to focus on how to leverage those tools and in what ways make the most sense, and how they can benefit us in our day-to-day marketing efforts, just to make our lives easier. But first, just a quick rundown on who we are. Get Digital Support. We're a Collingwood-based digital marketing agency. We are the digital service squad here. That just means that we are working with the Small Business Enterprise Center on a consultation basis. So we help local businesses with their digital marketing free of charge. It's a great program. Again, it's just, one-on-one consultations, get some advice, get some help with digital tools, setting them up, or making changes, fixing things. We can do a lot in a 1 hour kind of session, sharing screens. It's pretty amazing, like I said. But we launched Get Digital Support in 2022, providing digital marketing resources, webinars, consulting services, and even courses now. So check out some of our courses at getdigitalsupport.ca. We have some on AI marketing tools as well if you want to get further into this topic on a one-on-one course kind of basis. So just as a further background, Get Digital Support is part of BeFresh Marketing Group, and that consists of 3 different brands, but all digital marketing related. So BeFresh Media, I started in 2015, and that is our video production, photography, design agency. We do all things content related, and then of course Get Digital Support was the second one we launched in 2022, and then 20 Sharp is our digital marketing agency that handles all things web design, SEO, digital advertising management, and social media management. So if you have any need for those kinds of services, you could reach us at any of those different sites, or befreshmarketinggroup.com is where they're all kind of linked under one umbrella. Hopefully that makes sense. But today's agenda, we are talking about, of course, the marketing for AI with AI tools. So the way we approach this, or we like to approach this, is starting with just kind of the current limitations of AI tools. There are limitations. They're getting less and less, obviously, as these tools become more and more advanced. So we like to check in on sort of where we're at with those limitations. And then we're going to talk about AI tools for planning your marketing, for copywriting, for search engine optimization, and then finally for imaging and video and those kinds of things. So we've got lots of different resources to share, links for all these different kind of strategies, and lots of examples of how you can implement these tools to create marketing plans, copy for your website, SEO strategy and copy, as well as images and videos. By the way, we do have a Q&A in the Zoho webinar thing here. So if you have any questions as we go, feel free to drop them in there. whenever the questions comes to you, and I will answer them as we go. Um, Even though there is a section at the very end for questions, but I don't mind, answering them as we go so that it's just more fresh in your mind. So, starting off with kind of current limitations of AI, um, it always depends on the input, meaning, your prompt. What are you asking for? Um, how best are you describing it to the AI, is going to depend on what you get out of it. And so we'll talk a lot about those prompts, and I've got lots of examples of that. Um, and we talk a lot about too, editing your copy, any copy that you're having um, an AI system write for you. You do want to make sure that it's being edited, fact checked, um, and of course, uh, however, wherever possible, inputting your own kind of personality, kind of approach. Uh, but that's becoming less of a limitation too. Adding sort of flair, personality, you can actually start programming some AI tools with some of that, and it's getting a lot better as as we've seen. So, um, I mean, imagery and videos, I'd say, are still pretty detectable, getting less and less. Um, you know, this image here of hands. Um, I can't quite tell. Is that six fingers on that one hand? It almost looks like there is. Um, but that's usually a telltale, AI having a really hard time with hands and certain details, clocks or um, uh, I've got some other examples of some signage where text on the sign is really garbled. So things like that are a bit challenging, but we've got some great examples that we're going to go through as well that can, kind of work around these kind of limitations. Because again, if we talk about the prompt and how we describe what we want, um, if we can implement some kind of artistic style, um, then we can get stuff that's more forgivable. We're not if you're not always going for photorealistic imagery, that's tends to be a better approach because then, like I said, it's more forgivable. um, it's it doesn't have to be perfect. So uh, it's it's a better way to approach it. Um, and it's less detectable as AI. And again, we've got some great examples that we're going to share with you as we go. So when we talk about planning, of course, with regards to um, your general marketing, so idea generation, brainstorming, that kind of thing. Like even just asking um, an AI tool, I have a business that does this. What are some ways that I can, you know, uh, target maybe, and you can get specific, right? So maybe I have a business that does this. What are some ways that I can target this audience? Um, and uh, and you can really start getting some great ideas. They're not all going to be things that you have the capacity to do or want to do, but there might be some things that just uh you know get your wheels turning, get you thinking about some exciting things that you can do to start attracting more of that audience that you're interested in. So of course, ChatGPT, we're going to talk a lot about this tool. Um it's I don't know if it's one of the best. It's one of the most accessible tools. with a free version. I mean, a lot of these will have a free version too, Google Bard, Microsoft Copilot. Um, but but ChatGPT tends to be a bit of a standard when it comes to AI, um, and sort of general um, abilities in terms of what it can do, how it performs, and it's hard to compete with in that sense, because it is really good. Um, so yeah, I mean, these are, like I said, three different options, and just getting started with that idea generation is a great place to start. Just asking it questions, um, like uh, how can I get started with digital marketing, or how can I uh, increase my sales 30% this year if I'm in this kind of industry, and these are the different products I sell. Again, a lot of it's going to depend on that prompt, so make sure you include lots of detail, and that'll help kind of inform it to give you a better response. So, beyond just kind of that idea generation and brainstorming, taking it to the next level, you can start asking for things like blog post ideas, um, content calendar plans. Like, it can full on provide you with a social media calendar, um, with all the copy. Here's the schedule. Here are the themes you want to stick to, and um, and later we're going to talk about image generation. So I mean, you could essentially plan your whole social media calendar, create all the images, and have it ready to go in a matter of minutes, essentially. Um, Again, editing and making sure that it's, still engaging, exciting. That's the hard part too. So we don't want to just like crank out a bunch of garbage. There's still lots of ways that we can make it exciting, and on brand, and all that good stuff too. So some other ways, to do some planning, like keyword planning, asking an AI tool things like, what are some keywords that I should focus on for my business? I'm in this industry. We provide these services. Again, feeding it as much detail about your business, and it's going to give you some great keywords to think about, for your search engine optimization. A full-on marketing plan, like, just get some ideas there. Like I said, it doesn't have to be just social media. You could talk, um, you can ask an AI tool like, um, give me a whole plan for the year, so including uh, print media, sponsorship, that kind of thing, like just full spectrum, everything you need to think about, and it's going to give you some ideas and some things to think about, some things to try. It's pretty amazing. And again, it just goes on and on from there. That idea generation is kind of endless, because again, you don't have to do any of it. You don't have to um, run with anything. You can pick and choose what you like, what makes sense. You can rephrase that question, get some different ideas, and it's just great as a brainstorming tool, to get you thinking about how best you can market your business. Bottom line. Because a lot of times, yeah, we just don't think about it. We kind of leave it to the last minute, and don't plan these things out. And this is a great way to just put it all down on paper, so to speak. So here's a sample prompt. that we can, you can put into ChatGPT or something, um, for in this particular case, some blog post ideas. So it's basically, I run a local florist business in Collingwood, specializing in flower arrangements for weddings, events, and everyday occasions. I want to create engaging blog content to attract more local customers and build my brand's online presence. Please generate a list of creative blog post ideas focusing on topics like floral care tips, seasonal arrangements, floral trends, flower symbolism, eco-friendly practices, and how flowers can enhance home decor. Aim for topics that will boost SEO and resonate with my audience who value aesthetics, celebration, and thoughtful gift giving. So you can see, yeah, it's very detailed. And I actually had AI write that prompt for AI. So it's a little uh, maybe backwards there, but it's that's a great way to start too. Is like, give me a prompt for this, and then you can tweak it, um, modify it. If because it will sometimes just like make assumptions, like what are some of those topics that you want to focus on. So you might have to just go in and say, no, actually, instead of um, seasonal arrangements, I want to focus more on hand-tied bouquets or something. So yeah, like, just want to edit that, and then drop it back in as a prompt and see what it gives you. And it's going to give you some great ideas for those blog posts. So let's talk about copywriting, because um, if we're kind of following that line of thought, now we're getting some topics that we want to cover. Maybe we want um, to actually expand on that with not just ideas and things, but some copy. Um, and just as an overview too, some AI tools for copywriting. Um, we've got, of course, ChatGPT. Jasper AI is another one that's really good, but pretty expensive too. So it's usually more for bigger enterprise. Um, Writer.com is an interesting one to check out. So the interesting thing about like Jasper, Writer, these ones um, are more geared towards marketing specifically and copywriting. So they sort of put more more emphasis, uh, more uh, expertise into making sure that those outputs are um, uh, professional, and they give you different tools too. Like, so Jasper, you can kind of create your own brand voice. So you program it in a sense. But that being said, I mean, ChatGPT now also, you can create GPTs, which are a sort of pre-programmed version of ChatGPT, where essentially you tell it, um, you can program it in a sense to provide similar responses, um, for whatever you need. So, I mean, essentially, like, if um, I have an example, I've experimented with it a little bit, where um, every week I'm part of a networking group called BNI, and one part of my role there is to provide a speaker bio for the presenter of the week, which changes. And so I've created a GPT where I can just copy the person's bio from our BNI website. I paste it into ChatGPT, and it already knows what to do, which is like, give me a fun little bio about this person based on the whatever I've just paste it in. And the key is like, make it funny, add some puns about their industry kind of thing. So the benefit there is I pre-programmed it, so I don't have to do such a large prompt every time. It already sort of knows the rules of the game, and it just spits out a prompt that's something that I'm expecting, and hoping for. So all that to say, yeah, there's different ways of sort of programming these, but yeah, ChatGPT is a good option for that. JasperWriter.com. There are some other tools like Undetectable Originality AI, that are a little bit more geared towards like detecting AI content and testing your content to see if it's if it's being detected as AI, or if it's being flagged as AI, which raises an interesting question. I'll get to that actually in a minute, though, just because the big question of is AI being penalized across Google kind of thing. But we'll get to that in a sec, because we're going to talk more about SEO and the use of AI in these different things. But because technically, it is possible to have AI write you a full blog post, any kind of website copy you need, advertising, headlines, body copy. We use it a lot too for social media post copy as well. But also when we're creating like advertising plans for businesses, it requires a lot of different headlines and body copy. And AI is a big help in that regard, as well as email newsletters. So, think about things like your subject line, headlines, body copy, all the things that go into an email newsletter. You can get AI to help you with that. In fact, I just did a webinar on email marketing. We did talk more specifically about some tools for developing that content. So if that's something else you want to get into further, we've got another webinar on that topic as well. But here's where we talk about the pitfalls, I guess, or the potential, I guess, just the warning of, you can write a blog post with AI, but, there are some definitely things to think about. Like I was saying earlier, you should be editing that content, make sure that it's, as personalized as possible, including your perspective, your insights, because that's something that often, gets missed when AI writes a blog post. It's a very generalized opinion based on whatever information that's gathered across the web. So, if you're able to, hopefully you can provide more nuanced kind of insights that will set you apart in a way, will be helpful. And you should always use an SEO tool to help with editing for better SEO results. So this is where I do like to talk about the big question of, is Google penalizing websites for using AI content? And there's varying opinions on this out there. I mean, from my perspective, is pretty simple in that the way that Google operates is, that they want people to land on a website, and basically the longer the person stays there, the more they are convinced, or understand that person found what they're looking for, right? So that's why, like, a lot of SEO is just based on, like, if someone bounces out real quick, they obviously didn't find what they were looking for. And so if we can so if that's our sort of baseline, right, then we can assume that, like, um, if someone is sticking around, even if it's an AI written post, then then it's a positive thing. It's not going to be penalized. Why would Google penalize you if people are sticking around and finding value in your content? I just don't think that they're going to do that. So um, so that's where, making sure that you're using an SEO tool for editing. So just basically to hopefully increase your SEO score, or your ranking for the page. But then also, again, by adding in your own personality, your own perspective into that, will hopefully provide more of that value that people will find to set you apart from the rest. And you won't be essentially penalized for poor content, because that's my point, is just that good content is good content no matter what. So as long as you kind of strive for that, then go for it. But this picture here too is one of my favorite examples too, of just like some of the challenges with writing on signs. Still kind of struggle sometimes with letters and and things and words. So be on the lookout for that. But here's a sample prompt for a full blog post. So again, pretty lengthy, but it's, I own a charming bed and breakfast in Collingwood, Ontario, and we offer a special spa package in partnership with nearby Scandinav Spa. Please write a full blog post highlighting the details of this package. Describe the relaxing, rejuvenating experience guests can enjoy, including a luxurious accommodations, a hearty breakfast, and a full day of hydrotherapy at Scandinav Spa. Emphasize the serene atmosphere of the spa, its proximity to Blue Mountains, and how this package is perfect for couples, solo travelers, or anyone looking for a peaceful getaway. Include SEO keywords such as Collingwood Bed and Breakfast, Scandinav Spa package, and Blue Mountain relaxation. The tone should be inviting and focused on relaxation, wellness, and the unique local experience. So again, just very detailed. And even if, if we took a step back, hopefully you've done some planning around what are those keywords, and the maybe the tone you can get some help with, kind of setting that, and and then even some titles. Like, so again, if you've planned it out, you've got some titles, you can even feed this prompt with, here's the title of the blog that I'd like you to write, and then the specific keyword focus of that, and any more of those details. It's going to give you a decent, at least, start to a blog post that you can then edit and work into some great copy. So search engine optimization is a big topic as well with regard to AI. We can get a lot of help with AI tools. So surferseo.com is an SEO tool with AI components built in. Rank Math is not necessarily an a an AI tool. It's more of an SEO tool with AI built into it, which is helpful. And so when I was talking to you about using an SEO tool to make sure that your full blog post, let's say that AI has written for you, um, is sort of hitting all the SEO check marks. Rank Math is kind of the one that I go to. So it is a WordPress plugin. So if you don't have WordPress, it uh-oh, my video cut out there. Sorry. Oh, chat received. Uh-oh. No, sorry. I don't think it was your system, Valentina. I did cut out there. Now it's okay. Yeah, back now. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I was talking about Rank Math and that um it's a WordPress plugin, and uh it it basically analyzes each page of your website, and you tell it, this is the keyword focus for this particular page, and it's going to give you a checklist of all the ways or all the places that you need to put that keyword phrase. So your blog post title, your meta description, your um, headlines, put it in the blog posts, um, several times, and then it gives you a score out of 100 that you can just use as a benchmark and continue making improvements based on what it's telling you to do. um, and uh, and then so it does have an SEO component, as I said. It is a premium feature, so you have to pay for it, unfortunately. And what that gives you is just basically the ability to write some of that content, um, and it helps you to come up with different um, keyword ideas or title descriptions and things like that. Which if you've already paying for ChatGPT or another tool, like, you can also get that stuff from there and copy paste it. So but it's a great tool for just analyzing the SEO of your website if you have um, a WordPress website. And then again, Jasper AI is another. They have some SEO tools built into that one as well that can really help to build out your keywords and your content with an SEO focus. So, again, more specifically, yeah, we can use these tools to just get keyword suggestions. We can have them write our meta descriptions, meta titles, things like that, as well as alt text. So, image alt text is uh, just in the background, in the code of the website. Whenever we have an image, there's a tag that's called alt text. Technically, it's for visually impaired, so describing the image for anyone who's using a screen reader so that they can understand what this image contains. And so Google uses that, of course, when they're crawling pages to understand what this image contains as well, because Google's crawlers can't actually physically see it. So the alt text is really helpful in that regard, and wherever we can, include our keywords into that alt text can help our SEO. Again, we also have an SEO webinar that is also really helpful, more in depth on a lot of these things as well. And you can check it out at getdigitalsupport.ca. But here's a sample prompt for some SEO planning, which is, I own a plumbing business in Collingwood, Ontario that services the areas of blank. Of course, that's just, you fill that in. We offer services such as emergency repairs, drain cleaning, pipe installation, water heater maintenance. I want to write a compelling meta description for my website homepage that highlights my expertise, fast service, and 24/7 availability. Please keep it to under 160 characters, because that's important. And include relevant keywords like Collingwood plumber, emergency plumbing, and fast plumbing repairs to improve SEO and attract potential customers. And I will say, ChatGPT specifically does still have trouble with character limitations. I don't know why. When you tell it should be this many characters or less, like in this range even, it struggles to actually provide that. So sometimes you do have to make some more edits to get that to the right character limitation that you're looking for. But otherwise, it will hopefully give you some good results there. So let's talk about imaging and video, because this is always a great area to focus on, to learn about. It's, one of the fastest growing areas of AI, where we're seeing like big things happening, in terms of the development and capabilities of these tools, and it's very exciting. Because ChatGPT has Sora, which is now available. It's available with the premium version of ChatGPT. I think you can generate a few images with the free version, but upgrading to the premium will get you more, the ability to generate more images and things. Plus, so it's important to talk about some other really cool tools, especially for graphic design and content creation. So Canva is a big one, and they have AI generation available within those now as well, which is really cool. I will say, it's not quite at the same level as Sora or Midjourney, for example, but it's built right into these tools that a lot of us are using. And even if it's not generating like the actual image, it can generate some design templates too, which is really interesting. So something to check out and play with there. And it's worth mentioning too, so Canva is sort of industry standard almost, in a way. A lot of people use it, know what it is. But Adobe has their own version of Canva, which is called Adobe Express. So that's number 3 there. And we've made the switch here to Adobe Express, moving from Canva, because we were already paying for all the Adobe Creative Cloud tools. So because we use Photoshop, Lightroom, Adobe Premiere, all the major Adobe products we use, and we've been paying them for that for a long time. And we were also paying for Canva. which so Canva announced just late last year that their prices were going way up, and that was the motivation that I needed to just move everything over to Adobe Express and get rid of our Canva account. And so again, yeah, Adobe Express can do all the exact same things. It's kind of a ripoff of Canva in a lot of ways, but it can do all the same things. It has a lot of different graphics and images that you can use, templates, and in the context of our presentation, it does have AI image generation and template generation tools that you can take advantage of as well. And then, yeah, Midjourney is a kind of more advanced AI image generator. A lot of people use it for art. It's probably one of the most advanced image generation tools out there. But it's also kind of hard to use. It's not the most user friendly, and so, yeah, I don't think a lot of people get into it. But it is a great option if you're looking for really high quality images. Plus, LogoMaster AI is an interesting one to check out if, so this is specifically a brand development tool. If that's something that you're interested in, I mean, I wouldn't, it's good for, you need a quick logo if you're just starting out, you don't have any budget. It's good for that. I definitely recommend, hiring a designer if you want a full brand development. But again, if you're starting out and need something quick and simple, might be something to check out. And then InVideo.io is a video generation tool. I mean, I think Sora can do video too. I haven't really played with that too much. But InVideo is one that's specifically designed for marketing videos. And it's also, like all of them, getting a lot better and able to do some kind of cool things. I think they do have a free version as well that you can check out. And by the way, I will be sending out this presentation deck to everyone who registered, so you can have access to all these links. You don't have to make notes. But yeah, so when we talk about image generation, there's a lot of applications that are important for our marketing. Things like our website. We can generate images for email newsletters, social media posts. Even, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of the imagery in this webinar is all AI generated, for better or worse. I mean, I'm using some examples because they're bad, but I also haven't updated those in a while. So, I mean, it's probably I'm due for an update on some of those images to see if it's still as bad as like that sign, the warning sign. So, but there's tons of applications. And one of the benefits too that I don't see a lot of, but I would certainly encourage, is creating a really unified look for your business, right? I mean, when we talk about branding, it's really important to keep consistency with design and look and feel of everything. And sometimes, like traditionally, we would hire like the same photographer, who had a style, and so at least like that style of photography would be consistent across all of our channels, our website and our social media, and everything. And that's a great approach. And I definitely, I still recommend doing that if you have the budget. But using AI as well can allow us to create a similar unified look and style across all of our marketing material. And here's an example of that. So um, let's say you're a naturopathic doctor or own a naturopathic clinic, um, just as an example. So you could, you may want to create like a series of images and things for social media, your website, um, in a certain style. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about working within the limitations of AI by um, requesting an artistic style. We can sort of have more freedom there to not have everything look so perfect, right? um it's meant to look like an illustration. It doesn't need to look perfect. So here's an example of a prompt. I'm a naturopathic doctor looking for artistic images for my website in a soft watercolor style. Please create a peaceful scene of a table adorned with a variety of medicinal plants, herbs, and essential oils. The composition should feel natural and calming, with earthy tones and greenery that reflects the holistic plant-based approach of my practice. The table can also include small glass bottles, mortar and pestle, and some open books about herbal medicine. Aim for a serene and inviting atmosphere. Excuse me. Um, and this was the result. And I think I did this in maybe Canva. It was either Canva or Adobe Express. I can't remember which one. Um, but it's a great looking image, right? Um, and then similarly, we can keep that style going. So if we think about, our social media, um, we can prompt it with something similar. I'm a naturopathic doctor looking for artistic images in a soft watercolor style to share on social media. Please create a vibrant and visually engaging scene featuring medicinal plants and herbs displayed on a table, along with natural remedies like essential oils, herbal teas, and wellness products. The setting should feel warm and organic, using earthy greens and soft pastels to convey a sense of holistic wellness and vitality, including elements like mortar and pestle glass bottles, calming candles, to enhance the natural and nurturing atmosphere. The image should be inviting and shareable. So again, um, we are uh, sticking in that same style. We're getting a really unified look. Um, yes, that person does have too many fingers, so keep that in mind. It's maybe a little bit more forgiving with this, but that's a really telltale sign that this is an AI generated image. So you can always avoid, you can say, don't put any people in it, or, you could just try generating that prompt again, see what it gives you, um, to, just avoid anything that looks too AI generated, um, or off. But, I think it's a great approach, that again, I don't see enough of, and so, not only could it be like a watercolor style, you could do like a more of a graphic illustration style. Um, if you, have other examples that you can mention as a style, that can help. You can also tell it like, what kind of color theme or mood you want it to be in to sort of influence the feel of the colors as well, because um uh you can try and get it more on brand in terms of the colors and things that are used in the images. So lots of ways to approach that, to get uh just some really great imagery for all these different applications. um But best practices, be as specific as possible with your inputs and prompts, provide context and additional references where possible. And the more information you provide, the more informed the AI will be and the better your response. And that is our marketing tools, AI marketing tools webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to, as I said, drop them in the Q&A. Um, we've got about 5 minutes left, so um, happy to answer any questions that you have. And if there are none, that's cool. Hopefully I've answered them as we've gone through. Um, you can also message us directly if you have any follow-up questions or need any assistance. Like I said, any local businesses, you can book a consultation with us free of charge as the Digital Service Squad. We're happy to help. And anything digital marketing related is available to you. So, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any questions. So, I might just say thanks for joining us, everyone, and we will hopefully see you next time. There's more webinars coming up. Really excited about a e-commerce. So getting started with e-commerce, if anyone's uh, looking to do that, that's a new webinar coming out soon. And yeah, register at getdigitalsupport.ca, and we will see you next time. Thanks, Valentina. It was great to have you on the call too. We'll see you soon. All right. Bye for now, everyone.